You may have heard of the strange phenomenon of thousands of women who fall in love and have deep crushes on horrific killers. Serial killers and other convicted murderers have become celebrities as a result of 24-hour news and true crime entertainment. But no matter how well known these celebrities are, many of them continue to attract adoring admirers. Stay tuned to find out who and why women go crazy for serial killers. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy's trial created history in 1979 as one of the first murder trials to be televised nationally to American homes. While the serial killer's activities were certainly alarming to the broader public, this case was also instructive in terms of the flirty feminine response. In the midst of his trial, Bundy famously married a longtime admirer. Carol Ann Boone not only continued her relationship with Ted Bundy while he was on trial for kidnapping and murdering a 12-year-old, but she also consented to marry him and have his child. Bundy was a charming, handsome, college-educated man. He was a former law student who had worked in politics and was described as highly pleasant with a good sense of humor by people who knew him. When he was apprehended by police and charged with murder, many people couldn't imagine him doing such heinous atrocities. His good looks made him a celebrity and he drew a lot of female admirers. Margaret Good, one of his early defense lawyers, describes how people would show up in court and offer her handwritten notes to give him. He simply doesn't seem like the kind to kill someone, one young woman said outside the courthouse to a reporter. Carol Ann Boone is probably one of the most captivating cases of hybristophilia, with one of the weirdest proposals to ever grace a courtroom against the backdrop of Bundy's heinous murders. In 1974, Bundy and Boone met at the Department of Emergency Services in Olympia, Washington, where they both worked. During the day, the infamous serial killer assisted authorities in the search for missing women. By night, though, he was surreptitiously murdering and disposing of them. "I liked Ted right away. We got along seamlessly," Boone added. "He struck me as a shy person who had a lot more going on beneath the surface than what was visible. He was clearly more dignified and researched than the office's more certifiable types." Boone's devotion to the deranged killer was first noted after his incarceration in 1975. Whether it was due to hybristophilia or a deep-seated belief that she might transform him, not only did the two converse via letters, but Boone also paid him a 7-day visit in prison. Some believe Boone assisted Bundy in escaping from a Colorado prison in 1977, although this is yet to be verified. What's undeniable is that she followed him and fought tooth and nail to defend him despite irrefutable evidence of his wrongdoing. It's truly insane how infatuated and how frequent these horrific killers get praised by women and get love letters. Charles Manson. If we're going to dive into the horrific murders involving Charles Manson, we should also talk about the Manson family members who were with him on the nights of August 8 and 9, 1969, and how they took part in the two-night killing spree. It's bad enough to imagine a single person murdering many people, but it's far worse to imagine a family of killers. Many of Manson's family members were women. Many of the so-called Manson girls are actually still alive, despite the fact that Manson himself passed away in 2017 while serving a life sentence for his crimes. Some of them are in prison, but others are not, and we must include the ladies as well if we're going to discuss the man. Charles Manson had a unique ability to captivate the attention of those around him, especially women. They instantly gravitated towards him and seamlessly were put under his spell, you could say. Your typical evil cult. One of the first women to join Manson on his evil venture was Leslie Van Houten. Van Houten dropped out of school at the age of 19 and fled away to join Manson's family. On August 9, 1969, she took part in the murders of Rosemary and Lino LaBianca for the first time, even though many of the stab wounds found on the victims were done post-mortem. She was later arrested for her part in the crimes in December of the same year. During her trial, Van Houten giggled and acted indifferent for the majority of the time, which she later blamed on her LSD use. She was found guilty of murder on March 29, 1971. Her sentence was death. She was the youngest woman ever sentenced to death in California at the time. Patricia Krenwinkel, Manson cult. Patricia met Charles Manson in 1967 and essentially uprooted her life to follow him to San Francisco. She went under the name Katie while in Manson's family and was once picked up by Dennis Wilson, a member of the Beach Boys, who then eventually transformed his own home into a place for Manson and his family to stay, till Wilson kicked them out. Krenwinkel was a key figure in the Tate murders, having assassinated Abigail Folger. The next night, Krenwinkel went to Lino and Rosemary LaBianca's house and assisted in the murder of both of them, stabbing them repeatedly with various kitchen implements supplements. On the same album, Krenwinkel is credited with penning Death to Pigs and Helter Skelter in Blood. She was later charged and arrested and is still in jail to this day. Linda Kasabian, Manson cult. Kasabian joined the Manson family in 1969, accompanied by her small daughter. Kasabian was directed to fetch the family's goods and then wait outside in the car during the Tate killings. She did, and she could hear the screams from what was going on inside. She wanted to put an end to it. She stayed, though, since she was worried for her daughter, who had been left behind at the family's house. Manson told Kasabian to kill an actress a few days later, but Kasabian refused to carry out the order and instead knocked on the wrong door. Kasabian then left the family and went to live with her mother in New Hampshire. In addition to Linda, Patricia, and Leslie, there were approximately 5 other women in Manson's cult, one of which was the mother of his child. There were also hundreds of thousands of women who became infatuated with Manson following his imprisonment. They idolized him, his ideals, his appearance, and his power over others. It is creepy to think about. The Night Stalker. Next up, we have the infamous Night Stalker, aka Richard Ramirez. Ramirez, a serial killer, wasn't exactly a catch. After all, from 1984 to 1985, he molested children, raped women, and was convicted of murdering 13 people in the Los Angeles region. Despite this, a tiny group of female fans gravitated to him in the same way that women flocked to fellow serial killer Ted Bundy in the past. Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer, a new Netflix docuseries, delves into Ramirez's case, including how he won the unexpected admiration of multiple women, including 3 who were present during his trial and were the target of the murderer's seductive stares from across the room. During his trial, one admirer told a popular news outlet in San Francisco, "I think he's cute. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy," commented another. Ramirez had obvious fans. During his 1989 sentencing hearing, according to the Los Angeles Times, including a woman wearing a skin-tight black spandex jumpsuit who smiled and waved at the killer. In the courtroom, he'd smile and wave back to his followers, as shown in the docuseries. In the docuseries, Tony Valdez, a KTTV reporter, observed, "In all my years of reporting cases in Los Angeles, I never seen a defendant with more sex appeal than Richard Ramirez." The serial killer in Night Stalker, Hunt for a Serial Killer, was shown acting up for the camera and the audience. He'd stare the camera down, making eyes with it. "Hail Satan," he declared at his first court appearance, raising a hand with a pentagram written on it. Whether he was clever enough to build his own image or not, the killer was notorious for smelling like a goat and having decaying teeth, as one witness in the docuseries put it. What was the enticement? Regardless of his wild, demonic behavior, he was pursued by swarms of females, and we mean swarms. The Menendez brothers. Unlike the other murders on this list, Lyle and Eric Menendez appear to have expressed genuine contrition for their actions. The 2 boys, who are serving life sentences for the murders of their parents on August 20th, 1989, appear to recognize that what they did was wrong. Lyle Menendez, now 52 years old, and his 18-year-old brother fired fire on their parents, Kitty and Jose Menendez, when they were 21 years old. They used 15 shotgun rounds on the bodies, which rendered them practically unrecognizable. While vengeful family murders are not uncommon, Lyle and his brother were from a rich family who murdered their parents in Beverly Hills mansion. It's little surprise that the trial became a media phenomenon given the brothers' expensive shopping sprees following the murder. Despite the gravity of the situation, both brothers were quickly pursued by throngs of loving followers. Anna Erickson, a former Playboy model, felt a special connection to Lyle as she watched the trial unfold on TV. They'd later marry and divorce soon after. But this was common. Women were obsessed with these brothers who were now convicted murderers. Nevertheless, this didn't stop women from throwing themselves at the brothers any chance they could. And there you have it, some of the serial killers that women seem to go crazy for some strange unknown reason. Make sure to tell us your thoughts down below. Did we miss anything? But if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.